Good day everyone, this is Rich, and in today's video we're going to discuss the SeatGeek API and to see what kind of interest is out there in terms of using a WordPress plugin to help you make some extra money. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, share the video, and comment. I talk about many different things on this channel, and today I decided to see if there was any interest when it comes to the ticket marketplace. We're talking about people buying tickets to sports, concerts, theater, comedy, or whatever else is out there. I've been involved in the ticket industry for over 7 years. I've worked with several different businesses as a ticket affiliate. Depending on your site, having tickets available to sell could be a rewarding method of making some extra money. Today, I want to share with you one of the processes I took to make this happen. I'm going to spare all the coding and deep knowledge of what went into this and show you what I've developed. I'm trying to gauge from you guys if there's any interest in this WordPress plugin. I would consider selling a license to use it. This will allow me to develop even deeper and make it even stronger with more options. I don't want to bore you, and you're most likely here for the good stuff. However, there are some details I need to go over first. I joined up with the SeatGeek program over 5 years ago. For a long time, I was only using banners and text links to drive traffic. I knew there had to be a better way, and that's when I started looking into the SeatGeek API documents. As you can see, they have plenty of pages dedicated to understanding how their API works and what needs to be done to connect to it. Remember, this is a beginner's look at the API, and there are some things I left off this list. Besides a WordPress website, you need the site to be relevant, so people will want to click on ticket listings. A site about anything sports, music, comedy, or theater will be your best option. However, there are plenty of other websites that can go well with this plugin. SeatGeek used to have their partner program in-house, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, they moved it over to Rakuten. You'll need a Rakuten publisher account to get started. The description below has a link to getting set up. If you're having a hard time getting signed up or approved with SeatGeek, please send me a message and I'll do my best to get you in the door. These ticket sites don't work with everyone. You'll also need a user account at SeatGeek. This is no big deal, as anyone can do this. Now, what I just went over is important to continue, because if you don't have these things, you won't be able to use the plugin. I do have a quick story for you. So in 2018, I found a developer to help me build out an API WordPress plugin that will allow me to not only connect to SeatGeek and to provide ticket listings, but also make it so simple to add events to my pages. After a lot of money and time, as you can see, or you're about to see, we came up with a pretty sweet plugin. So on the SeatGeek site, pretty much in the back end, you're going to have to register a new app. This means pretty much anything that you want to add so it can connect to it and authenticate. All I have to do is add a name and a URL. This will allow the token to be created, and then you can add this token to the dashboard. As you can see, this is a small back-end interface or dashboard for the plugin to function properly. The API key is the first thing. This is what we were just showing you an example of. You create the API key on SeatGeek and then you put it in here. The affiliate ID doesn't really matter as much anymore because you are going through Rakuten, but back when it was directly through SeatGeek, you needed this, so I kept it in there just in case they went back to the dashboard or the SeatGeek dashboard. The events per page, this will show the selected number of events should there be that many. So if you pick a season, say baseball, there's so many games, and you select the Boston Red Sox, it will show that amount of tickets or that amount of games per listing. So if there's 80 or 160 games, it'll show 10 because I have 10 here. And then there's a load more button that will show many more events. And then the pagination is the same type of thing. I don't use it as much anymore because of the way it indexes. So I pretty much don't use pagination, but you can if you wanted to. So you can select a 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it has that many listings, it will add that many listings for you. And you can click on 2 and it'll open a new page with more listings and so forth and so forth. That's pretty much it for the front end. All the other things are happening in the back end code. Okay, so now for the good stuff. What is so special about this plugin? One word, really: simplicity. When I worked with my developer, I said I need this thing to be very easy to use and do everything I need it to do. I wanted to find an event, copy a shortcode, paste it, and publish it, and that was it. I didn't need any crazy bells or whistles. I just needed enough to allow me to do it pretty easily and not really have to worry about it. The good news is we did it, and I've been super excited ever since, and it's been pretty cool, and that's why I'm at this point right now. So here it is, and I'm going to run through an example for you in a second. So let's go ahead and pick an event. So we'll pick Taylor Swift, pretty common name, and I want to include ticket listings for all of our upcoming concerts or tour, and you can see how easy it is to do. Sorry for the Ipsum sample content, but it's just easier to do it that way than actually typing out some words or whatnot. So if I scroll down to the shortcode, you can see the SeatGeek Performer plugin, and all you have to do is type in Taylor Swift. Notice how many different relevant names show up because the database is so huge. Although you see her name at the top, because the database is so big, I suggest you type the whole name in until it's completed, because some team names or some people's names are very similar and you don't want to select the wrong one. You can then select the name from the large drop down. So in this case, I selected Taylor Swift. The next thing you do is select the generate button. The generate button will create the shortcode for you. And then you copy the shortcode, which is very simple to do. And then what you want to do is scroll up and paste it anywhere you want in the post. And in this case, I pasted it with a little spacer below to help it be seen better when we go to the front side of the site. So now let's take a look at the sample on the live site. The information pulled from the API is what shows up on the SeatGeek website. Sometimes the pricing isn't fully updated. It changes quite often, but usually on a 24-hour basis. Sometimes SeatGeek doesn't provide the lowest price, and they just only put fine tickets. So this is something you should be on the lookout for. So sometimes you'll have an actual price versus sometimes you'll have just fine tickets. Notice the status bar below. This is important because when I scroll down the links, it shows the name of my site with the SeatGeek event ID. When you click one of these, you'll be taken to the exact page of the listing. Each of these links carries a new tab and a no follow tag. I selected to do this way, and this will happen with whatever your site is. So it doesn't, give you some kind of gross long URL. This actually is very clean looking, and it's legit. It's not taking you to a fake site. It's just taking you to that event ID on the SeatGeek site. And another cool feature is the load more button at the bottom of the listings. This will show up for no matter, as long as there's one listing or more, you'll see a load more at the bottom, and this will take you to the overall performer page, not an individual event. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Here's another quick example. I'll go down and select I'll select a team. I'll select Boston Celtics. And all I have to do is type in Boston Celtics and follow the same steps as I just did, which is, generate code, copy code, and then paste it into the, the area I want to put it. And it will show all the different games, both home and away. It'll show playoff games. It'll show the championship games. And this will happen for the NFL or any other sport that the team is in. So it's pretty neat. It does. Some games are already announced, but if they make the playoffs, those are unknown, but it will keep adding those games as they get added automatically. It's not something I have to do. Okay, so one of the last things I want to show you is something I added about a year ago, and that was for the venue search. The API has a lot of different search endpoints, like performer, venue, date, city, and whatnot. The only two I really needed were the performer, which is, Taylor Swift or Boston Celtics or whatever it may be. But the venue was kind of important to me, so I decided to add a venue feature, which will allow me to select any venue in the country, some parts of the world, and type it in. So in this case, I'll select Madison Square Garden, we'll just do, because that's a well-known arena. And notice how once I select that, I follow the process, copy code, paste it in, and let's go look at the live site. And as you can see, it has all the garden events coming up. which is basketball, hockey, WWE, a concert or two, and it has the load more button. It works just the same as Performer, which is kind of nice because sometimes you just want an overall list of events versus an individual team or performer. So that's the deep look into the plugin, and it's pretty simple looking, but there's a lot going on in the back end. So I just want you guys to know that there was a lot of time and effort and money put into this. So I just want to see if there was any interest for you guys, if this is something you would buy for your site. Are you looking to make some money, selling tickets or whatever? And the nice thing is, once it's all set up, you can literally add this to page or like current pages or whatever it may be. And if there are some, if I'm selling this thing, I can make it better, and I can take some customization requests and whatnot to make it better for your site or even better for everyone. There's a lot can be added. For the most part, it does the simple process of creating the links, clean links, tracks the traffic, sends it to SeatGeek. You can check Rakuten for your stats, see if you have sales, and it goes from there. That's pretty much it. I'm also in the process of working on plugins for Vivid Seats, which is about 80-90% done. StubHub would be next. I think their API is just as good as SeatGeek. Vivid Seats I thought was going to be better, but it's a little bit trickier. But that's something we'll look at down the line. But I wanted to show this and see if this is something that might be good for you. So what I'm looking for is a comment. Let me know below if this is something you're interested in, or send me an email to rich@afternoongrind.com. You can reach me by comment or by email, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because there'll be more updates in the future about this and other things. And I look forward to helping everyone out as best I can. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you in the next video.